My name is Jithin, Department of Pharmaceutics, Navala College of Pharmacy. Today we are discussing about various cosmetics excipient used in the formulation of cosmetics. We all know cosmetics is widely used in society for beautification purpose and various different type of excipient used in the cosmetics for different purposes. So an excipient is a pharmacologically inactive substance formulated along with the active pharmaceutical ingredient of a medication. So, different type of excipient used in cosmetics for different type of purposes. And cosmetic ingredient can generally be derived from a variety of sources ranging from natural or synthetic substance. So, different type of cosmetic excipient we are used from some from natural origin and some from synthetic origin. And the main purpose of excipient, one purpose is to increase the bulk of the formulation and provide physical, chemical, and microbial stability to the formulation. For example, preservative we are used to enhance the microbial stability of cosmetic preparation. Then another excipient, different type of excipient uses are surfactants, humectants, emollient, antioxidants, preservatives, and rheologically modifiers. So, what are the different? We are go through different type of cosmetic excipient and their use. First one is surfactants. So surfactants are that is surfactants or surface active agents. They are essential for cleansing and foam building in shampoos and body washes. We know the shampoo, that shaving cream, they are foam building agents. So surfactants are used to increase the foam preparation. Then the next excipient is humectants. They are frequently used in cosmetics as a way that increasing and maintaining moisture of the skin and hair. Then the next excipient is a rheology modifier. They are increase the flow of product. For example, semi-solid preparation like creams, gels, serums. They are increase the flow or increase the viscosity of preparation. We are using rheology modifiers. Next excipients is antioxidant. They are ingredient used in cosmetic formulation to increase the shelf life of cosmetic product and protect human cell against damages. They are antioxidants are broadly classified into two type of antioxidants: organic antioxidants and inorganic antioxidants. Next excipient is that is preservative. They prevent the contamination and ensure the longevity of cosmetics and personal care products. Many of the cosmetic products they are prone to the microbial growth. So the preservative that prevent the contamination or prevent the microbial growth and protect from the microbial instability of the formulation. Okay. And what are the ideal properties of excipient? First one is they are chemically, physically, and therapeutically inert and non-toxic and compatible. The excipient should not be any incompatibility with the active pharmaceutical ingredient, and they are chemically, physically, therapeutically they are stable, and there should not be produce any toxic effect, and they should be compatible with the other excipient and API in the cosmetic formulation. Next, ideal characteristics, there should be odorless, tasteless, and elegant. We already know cosmetics is there should be elegant preparation. So the excipient should be odorless, tasteless, elegant, and pharmaceutically acceptable excipient. Next ideal characters should be biologically stable and it could be standardized, and all the excipient used in cosmetics that should be approved by regulatory bodies. Then should be easily available, economical, and should be flexible, should be thermostable, and it should be sterilizable. So these are the ideal properties of excipient used in cosmetics. One more, we will repeat the ideal properties that it should be chemically stable, chemically, physically, and therapeutically inert. It should be non-toxic. It should be compatible, and it should be odorless, tasteless, elegant, and it should be pharmaceutically acceptable, and it should be easily available. It should be economical, and it should be thermostable because some preparations like ointments and creams they are prepared by heating the excipients or the heating the lipid substance. So it should be thermostable and it should be biologically stable and it should be standardized. So we have to calculate the amount of that excipient. So it should be analyzable and it should be approved by regulatory bodies, various regulatory bodies in the different countries. So First excipient we are going for the surfactants. So they are the compound that stabilize the mixture of oil and water by reducing the surface tension at the interface between oil and water molecule. So surfactants or surface active molecule or surface active agent, first they are mechanism of action to reduce the surface tension. All the surfactants, their main mechanism of action to reduce the surface tension between the oil and water molecule. Okay. Surfactants or surface active agents are an amphiphilic group of molecules having both a hydrophilic end and a hydrophobic end. So the surfactants have two ends. One is hydrophilic end and one is hydrophobic end. And the surfactants are mainly classified into three. That is amphiphilic surfactants. That is double affinity as polar durability. Hydrophilic surfactants. They have high affinity. They are polar in nature. Hydrophobic surfactants. They are lipophilic in nature and they have alkali chain. Okay. The tail or hydrophobic group which has a little affinity for water. This group is usually hydrocarbon chain. Head portion hydrophilic group which has strong affinity for water. So the surfactants have a hydrophilic end and hydrophobic tail. This is a pictorial representation of surfactants. The oil phase is inside and the hydrophobic tail is inside and hydrophilic head is in the outwards. And the function of surfactants, they can perform diverse functions including cleaning. For majority of soaps and shampoo, the surfactants are used for cleaning. Then next function of surfactants is wetting. Then this emulsification and for solubilization. Some drug or some excipients are for some excipients to solubilize. We are using surfactants. Then for dispersion and foaming and sometimes even penetration enhancement and antimicrobial activity. Some surfactants are used for as penetration enhancers and for antimicrobial activity. Due to certain outstanding functional diversity, surfactants may be applied in the production and processing of food, agrochemicals, pharmaceuticals, personal care, petroleum, mineral oils, lubricants, paints, and many others. The nature of hydrophilic moiety is commonly used to classify surfactants in our basic category. The surfactants are basically categorized into anionic surfactants, cationic surfactants, amphoteric surfactants, and non-ionic surfactants. And in cosmetic products, in cosmetic product or in cosmetics, the surfactants are mainly used as detergents or cleansing agents, emulsifiers, wetting or foaming agents, opacifiers, thickening agents, foam depressors, hair conditioners, and anti-static agent. Here, the selection of a surfactants for a specific cosmetic product is a delicate task, and we depend upon the different factors starting from intended purpose of the product. Mainly surfactants are classified into non-ionic surfactants, anionic surfactants, cationic surfactants, and amphiphilic surfactants. First one is non-ionic surfactants. They are gentle than anionic surfactants and have inferior foaming property than anionic surfactants. So, in class of surfactants, non-ionic surfactants are very gentle compared to anionic surfactants, but have very less foaming property compared to anionic surfactants. They are generally combined with the other anionic surfactants to create milder shampoo. So, non-ionic surfactants are mainly used for to create milder shampoo. The largest group of surfactants consists of non-ionic, which do not dissociate in aqueous solution. Their major characteristics good skin and eye compatibility. So, mainly these non-ionic surfactants are used for skincare preparation and eye care preparation. And depending upon the type, they are weak to moderate foaming agents. Non-ionic surfactants may serve as cleansing agents, but are generally used as emulsifiers mainly for skin preparation and for baby skin as the everyday day care. Example for non-ionic surfactants are decyl glucoside, PEG 10 sorbate lower rate, polysorbate have different rate that is 20, 21, 40, 60, 61, 65, 80, 81. That is polysorbate 20, polysorbate 21, polysorbate 40 and so on. Next is anionic surfactants. So anionic surfactants are mostly available on all shampoo that contain one of the anionic surfactants given below. And they are the primary surfactants. So in majority of shampoo, anionic surfactants are the primary surfactants. And this molecule contain a polar head group which carries a negative charge and that slightly acidic, neutral, or alkaline aqueous solution. Most important functional groups are carboxylate, sulfate, and sulfate or phosphate. And the harshest anionic surfactants are SLS, that is sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl ether sulfate. Mild and gentle anionic surfactants are sodium lauryl sulfoacetate. So anionic surfactants are mainly used in shampoo. They are the primary surfactants. And due to the positive charge carried, then we are go for cationic surfactants. They have positive charge. And some of the cationic surfactants are used as bactericidal agents and emulsifiers. Mainly the shampoo contain that one cationic surfactants because our hair is a negatively charged. The more the hair is damaged, the more negative charge it carries. So these positive charged cationic surfactants bond to the negatively charged hair and get absorbed on the hair shaft and provide the conditioning effect. So these cationic surfactants are mainly used in hair conditioners. Example: citramonium chloride, citramonium bromide, quaternarium 15 are the example for these non-ionic surfactants. Next is detergency, one of the most common application of surfactants. One is the most important application of surfactants is detergency. One of the most common applications of surfactants is cleaning formulation. When skin and hair get dirty, they are really two type of dirt. Mainly the surfactants is used for cleansing purposes. So to remove the dirt from our skin and hair, we are using surfactants as the excipient in cosmetic formulation. Solid particulate and oil deposits are the main two type of dirt in our skin and hair. The oily deposit come from the natural sebum, which is produced in the hair follicle. Although the rinsing the surface with water can remove some of the dirt, the oily deposit will tend to adhere more on the lipophilic surface of hair and skin. Surfactants in a detergent help to rid of this oily deposit. So that oily part, oily dirt that will adhere on the skin and hair, surfactants due to its detergent action, it can remove from the skin and hair. Next is wetting. Next important application of surfactants in cosmetics is wetting. Surfactants are also wetting agent that reduce the contact angle between a solution put on a surface and the surface. This property allows the surfactant to spread more easily on the surface and inject themselves between the oil deposit and skin or hair surface. These lift up to the oil and allows to be removed. Next important property of surfactants in cosmetic formulation is foaming property. Foaming is an important characteristic of cleansing cosmetics. It is formed when air is dispersed in a continuous liquid medium. The air bubbles are surrounded by thin layers of liquid, and the surfactants help to stabilize the bubbles that are formed and creating foam. Many of the formulations like bathing soap, shaving cream, shaving lotion, shaving foam, all preparation we are adding surfactant to produce foam. Next important property of surfactants is thickening. In a water or surfactant solution, if the water is major ingredient, surfactants align themselves in a structure that called micelles. These are the tiny spherical structure in which the lipophilic tail orient inwards and the polar head orient outwards or towards the water. Micelles are important for the creation of emulsion and they are responsible for thickening property of cosmetic preparation. Next, other application of surfactant is emulsification. Emulsions are cream and lotion that deliver beneficial lipid material to the surface of skin and hair. They can be simple oil in water or water in oil emulsion or more complex multiple emulsion. Next, cosmetic excipient is humectant. Humectant is a substance that is used to keep things moist. Humectants are hygroscopic substance. It is often a molecule with several hydrophilic group. Most often they have hydroxy group, but amines and COH groups sometimes esterified can be considered as humectants, and the affinity to form hydrogen bond with a molecule of water is crucial. Structure of humectants. The molecular structure of humectants is very widely, but they have multiple hydroxyl group or the other hydrophilic sites that can be interact through hydrogen bonding with the water molecule. For the most part of humectants are non-polar molecule compatible with water. The way humectants work is that they attract water from either from the atmosphere or from the body and bind itself via hydrogen bonding. The property known as hygroscopicity can be measured on any kind of humectants. The amount of water that a material can bind to specific humidity is called equilibrium hygroscopicity. When the test is done for a humectant like glycerin, you find that it will absorb 25% of its weights in water when it's exposed to 50% of humidity. So the ability of humectant is tested by equilibrium hygroscopicity. Under the same condition, another common humectant like propylene glycol will absorb 20% its weights in water. In general, more moisture a humectant will absorb, the better a humectant makes its formulation. The mechanism action of humectants are most low molecular weight substance with weight water attracting properties into the stratum corneum, used along with the other component to retain its water content. Examples of humectants are glycerol, propylene glycol, panthenol, sorbitol, urea, alpha hydroxy acid, and hyaluronic acid. And important ideal properties of cosmetics. It should be low odor and low color. It should be non-toxic and safe to use for cosmetics. It should have high moisture absorption over a wide range of humidity. And generally, it should be non-reactive with the other cosmetic ingredient. It should have low cost and readily available. Example for humectant, most important and most common example for humectant in cosmetics is glycerin or glycerol. It's a molecule that has three hydroxyl group. It is odorless, clear liquid that can be derived from natural sources. When it gets found in nature, it is primarily manufactured by product of chemical reaction of fat and oil. There is a reaction between fat and oil. Glycerin is a byproduct. It can also be synthesized from petroleum sources. Next example is sorbitol. This is a 6-carbon sugar that has 6 OH group. It can be derived from glucose, so it can maintain a natural story. It is more hygroscopic than glycerin that doesn't suffer from the stiffness problem. Next example for humectant is propylene glycol is another common humectant in cosmetics. So it is non-toxic, low odor, low viscosity, and compacted with many ingredients. It doesn't absorb quite as much water as glycerin. However, its skill is excellent for application. It also doesn't have a stiffness problem compared to glycerin and it's less expensive. Propylene glycol is similar to glycerin chemical in nature, having 3 carbon atoms. The main difference is in propylene glycol, it contains only 2 OH group. In glycerin, it is 3 OH group. The primary disadvantage of propylene glycol is that synthetically produced from petroleum processing. Glycerin can be obtained from natural processing, that is a byproduct of fat and lipid production. Here, this propylene glycol is made from petroleum processing. It also has a bad reputation. Next is butylene glycol. This is a clear, low viscosity liquid that works well as a humectant. It is a 4-carbon molecule that contains 2 OH group. It is similar to humidancy to propylene glycol and makes a good substitute. And it's more effective solubilizer than both glycerin and propylene glycol. Next example for humidancy is polyethylene glycol. And PEG with an average molecular weight of 200 to 2000 are the ones that exhibit useful humidancy. When formulating higher the PEG molecular weight, less water soluble it will be. And next is sodium TCA. The humectants is found naturally in human skin, often included as a part of natural moisturizing factor. It makes a good store. It's highly effective. Humectant can be bind 1.5 times better than glycerin. As the humectants go, it is only one of the best performing ingredients. Next example for humectants is urea. It's a 10% cream for the treatment of hyperkeratotic skin disorder and its lower concentration for the treatment of dry skin. In the treatment of osteomycosis, urea is added to a medicinal formulation at a 40% as a keratoplastic agent to increase the bioavailability of drug. Next class of excipient used in cosmetics is emollient, and they are used for protecting, moisturizing, and lubricating the skin. These functions are normally performed by the sebum produced by healthy skin. The emollients are mainly lipids and oil, which hydrate and improve the skin softness, flexibility, and smoothness. The skin slip or lubricity contribute to the consumer satisfaction. Emollients available are lotion, cream, ointments, bath oils, or soap substitute. Other popular emollients like castor oil, cetyl alcohol, or cetostearyl alcohol, cocoa butter, isopropyl maestrate. These are the example for emollients. They are used for topical treatment, like they are treatment that are directly applied to the skin. They reduce the water loss from the outer layer of skin by covering it with a protective film. Emollients are sometimes known as moisturizers. They comes with the different forms, including soap substitutes, bath oil, moisturizing creams, and ointment. Mechanisms of emollients: saturated and unsaturated variable length hydrocarbon, which help in the skin barrier function, membrane fluidity, and cell signaling, leading to the overall improvement of skin texture and appearance. Indication: skin dryness, roughness, and routine skin care. Example: cholesterol, squalene, fatty acid, fatty alcohol, and ceramide. Classification of emollient: they are classified into emollients that offer an occlusive barrier and they smooth flaky skin scale to make skin look smoother. Some spread more easily than others. Occlusion or occlusive agent that coat the skin, forming a physical barrier that prevent the loss of butter. Example: petrolactam, waxes, oils, and silicones. They can be uncomfortable on the skin or they may be combined with an emollient. So usually occlusive agent that are combined with the emollient preparation. Humectants, they attract water from the atmosphere and from the lower layers of skin to moisturize the surface of the skin. They can feel sticky, so they will combine with the other elements like emollient. Next is lubrication, reduce the friction when anything rubbed against the skin. So that emollients are classified into occlusive agents, humectants, and emollients. The again emollients are classified into medicated emollients. Example: some emollients contain specially medicated formula that can be used to treat skin conditions such as eczema, psoriasis. Emollient can be applied to the often recommended by the manufacturer to keep the skin well moisturized and good condition. Washing your hand, having a bath, taking a shower. Emollients are best applied when the skin is moister and should ideally to apply to the skin at least 3 or 4 times a day. This is all about that cosmetics excipient we are discussing with the surfactants, humectants, emollients. Thank you.